Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we have round 7 of the PRA Elite Series here at the Blue Moon Bay Speedway. If you missed the last episode, make sure to go ahead and check that out. It was a pretty fun race on my end. Hopefully able to keep up the momentum into this race. As you see, starting P2 in the heat race, we ended up, for like qualifying heat race, ended up coming home in a solid P2. So we are starting on the front row of the grid, so hopefully we can keep that momentum up from last race to this race, as well as from qualifying, and hopefully look for some major points, possibly even a win, just depending on how the race goes, as well as the race strategy. But as we come on to the main front straight, we are going to be going green here, and we are underway at the Blue Moon Bay Speedway, my apologies. As you see right behind, looks like Rum got a pretty good run, but we're going to be barreling down into turn 1, trying to keep it nice and clean. A little contact here with Hoodcat, but with it being the first lap, not going to really make a big fuss out of it, as we duck down to the bottom lane to hopefully get the slipstream of Turismo and get up into P2, maybe even P1, looking for a move into the final corner. As you can see, our teammate Schwartz is actually behind us, following us through, and I believe he started in P6 or 7, but he's up into P3 now as we look for a move for the lead on JSMR Turismo. Through this last corner, there's definitely a lot of different lanes to take, different lines to take. But on this time, we were not able to make a move on Turismo, so we just tucked in behind him. Get a little push right here from Gypsy, so we're going to pull out and look for a move on the inside into turn 1, and hopefully get in the lead out of this corner. And we are right up against the wall, cutting off Turismo's Turismo's momentum. There it is. Turismo's momentum. So with that, 2 laps in the book, we are up into P1, leading the race as of right now, and hopefully we can keep this up and keep with the main pack as well, or the main front guys. As you can see, coming into the final turn, like I said before, a lot of different lines being run through that final corner. So with us coming across the line onto onto lap 4, we are still in the lead. Setting the fastest lap, but not for very long, as Rum gets a humongous run on the inside. But we are going to have a nice and easy turn 1, making a little contact with the wall on the exit. But as we come out of the exit, we are still in P1, getting a big bump from Gypsy and Turismo, or from behind. And as you can see at the top right hand side at the mini map, looks like there was some contact behind, so the caution is out on lap 4. So we will be racing back to lap 5, and as we cross the line onto lap 5, the caution will be out, and we will be under quote-unquote safety car regulations, and we're going to have to slow down to 70 miles per hour. But as we cross the line, we are going to be coming home in P1 for the caution. So pretty decent job on my part. This is where the strategy kind of gets a little weird. I was thinking about maybe pitting, but it was a little too early on in the race, with at least 36 laps left to go in this race. As we come onto the main straight, looking behind, there's going to be a big group of cars coming in, trying to play a little bit of a dummy on some cars. But with that, we are still holding the lead in P1. As we come on to lap 6, or end of lap 6, lap 7, we are going to be leading the field from yellow conditions to green conditions. So hopefully we can keep the position that we have now. As you see, we are under green conditions as of right now, getting a little push from King Saturn from behind. It looks like Turismo on the outside is getting a little bit of run, but hopefully we can keep it nice and clean into turn 1. A very tricky corner, as you see, is going 3 wide behind, and it looks like Turismo actually makes a little contact with the wall, so we are able to hold on to P1 as of right now. Looks like he's going to get a little bit of a run with Millie, which is his teammate, and I was kind of really, throughout this race, I was really looking for my teammate Schwartz, trying to help both of us get up to a decent points paying position, and hopefully get some good points for our team D-Boy Racing. A little contact right there from I'm not really sure who it was, but as you see on the radar, there was just all carnage behind, going 34 wide. As you can see, Turismo actually pulls out and gives his teammate Millie the slipstream, but we do get a big push from behind from Gypsy, which is going to give us the lead into turn 1 yet again, as Turismo goes a little bit wide and kind of pushes us up into the wall, but no major damage done. No, it was bound to happen into that corner. It's very difficult as we get another big push from Gypsy and Wired behind, so we're going to duck down onto the inside, the preferred racing line, into the final corner, as it looks like Gypsy gets a humongous run on the outside. So we're not really going to block him. We're just going to try and stick back and hopefully get back into his slipstream or another car's slipstream. As we come up onto the top of the racetrack, it looks like it's going to be almost 4 wide for just a split second, but we are going pretty decent so far. Right now I kind of wanted to lead a few laps as we look into the radar. There's a humongous group of cars going into turn 1, but it looks like no major contact was
in the lead?
afforded or made, so no caution, but we get another push from, I believe that was Keen Saturn. I believe he pushed us into the lead, so with that we are back up into lead. As you see, Turismo behind gets a humongous run on the inside, and I'm just going to let him go. He's got a pretty decent run, like I said before, and his teammate Millie is on my inside. He's going to try and get back up into the slipstream of Turismo, make a little contact right there, but nothing too major as we come onto lap 10, get a big push from Ward behind. There was a little gap right there, but it closed just in the nick of time to where I couldn't make a move on Turismo. Going into turn 1, making a little contact with the wall. And as you can see and hear, looks like there was some major contact into turn 1, so that's another caution out in this race on lap 10. So we're racing back to lap 11 to get under caution or safety car regulations, and hopefully we can lead the pack yet again, as it looks like Turismo and Millie are getting pretty decent runs, as well as Wired is coming up on the inside, kind of cutting him off just a little bit, trying to stall his momentum, but hopefully we will come across the line, and we will come across the line onto lap 11 in the lead. So as we get into yellow conditions, we are back on the front row, jumping forward to the pit stops. I was thinking about going in, not really sure if I wanted to take the chance or not. It's still about half distance or not, but I decided to pull the trigger and dive into the pits and get some fresh tires, as well as fill up the car a decent amount, because we all know that this Sylvia drinks fuel like it's pretty much water and it's dehydrated in the Sahara Desert. But as we come out of the pit lane, we are going to come out into P6. Our teammate Schwartz is going to be alongside us on the restart, so hopefully we can work together to get back up near the front, as we are back under green conditions here at Blue Moon Bay Speedway, looking for possible moves into turn 1, as Wired, a Sportsman Series member, actually is leading the race, and hopefully we can keep it nice and clean into turn 1. A little contact here and there, but nothing too major. As you can see on our inside, our teammate Schwartz is going to be falling back a little bit, not within the slipstream, as we're going to try to give a big push to Boogity Boogity, and yeah, hopefully able to keep up this momentum. As of right now, not really wanting to lead laps and be out in front, but there's a big group of us heading into turn 3, all different type of lines, just trying to keep it nice and clean and trying not to cause any accidents, and it looks like we are able to get through that pretty well. But going back onto the fact of not really wanting to be in the front and leading laps, because I don't want to use as much fuel as I can. I kind of want to fuel save just a little bit, that way I make sure I have plenty on the way into the final stages of the race. And it looks like there's some major contact right there, kind of got pinned up against the wall, and not really anything we can do, just kind of trying to get through turn 1 nice and easy. I was wanting to get down to the bottom lane to get behind my teammate Schwartz, but I wasn't able to since Rum was there. But we were able to stick with the pack, and that's definitely something I was really worried about falling back so far, is sticking with the pack and within the slipstream. But look at this scene. There's cars all over the track, trying all different types of lines, and hopefully we can get up behind our teammate Shorts and work together to get back up near the front. And that's exactly what we are doing right now. But we are going to be using the slipstream of our teammate Shorts in the turn 1, trying to take it nice and easy. Don't want to cause any unnecessary contact or cause a caution, which we all got through turn 1 pretty nice, relatively easy. But as you can see, me and Shorts are going to be trying to work together to get up to the front of the field, almost at half race distance here. But here in a second, I want you to see this absolute amazement of racing craft. About 5 wide for a brief second into the final corner. Definitely something we could have, we can see at a track like this. But as you see, I did make a move on our teammate Shorts. Not really was trying to make a move, but I think he made a little contact with the wall. But I did jump back up into like his lane. That way he was able to get the slipstream. I was making some major contact with Wired heading into turn 1. Decided to back off a little bit. That way we're not making a whole lot of contact. But yeah, as we jump forward, or not jump forward, but continue on this lap, we are getting back up into the front pack, or front half of the pack, I should say. And I was really hoping our teammate Shorts would follow us through, but it looks like he kind of got caught up with a little bit of traffic as we head into the final corner, taking a little bit of a different line, seeing if it will help us on the long run. And it looks like we kind of did gain a little bit of time as Rum tried to sneak up in front of Wired, but it looks like he was not able to. So as of right now, we are in a P3.
Damn.
I was kind of trying to make a little bit of move on Wired right here, but decided not to really make any humongous moves, as there's some major contact right there, and it looks like there's going to be another caution on lap 17. So kind of a pretty decent, or what am I trying to say? A nicely timed move on Wired, because I could have easily been caught up in that caution. But as we come to the final corner, looks like me and Millie are going to be racing back to the line to see who start on pole position out of the caution. Makes a little contact with the wall, and we are going to be having a drag race up to the line, and it's going to be super close. But unfortunately, it looks like he's going to get just in front of us. So we are going to be starting on the front row in a P2. At this point in time, about half race distance, maybe looking for a pit stop, but decided to dip out, and it looks like me, Trismo, and Millie are the only ones that stayed out. And right now, I was kind of worried I made the wrong decision, but I was banking on the fact that we will have another caution later on in the race. But as we head on to lap 20, we were under green conditions. And it was a little weird, kind of weird restart. I kind of got a big push in which really pushed me forward, so I decided to slow down a little bit because I didn't think that was really fair, because I think there was a little miscommunication there. But no harm, no foul as we head into turn 1, trying to carry the speed around the outside of Millie, and it actually looks like it did work just for a second. And then we're going to duck down to the bottom line. That way, if Millie does get a push from his teammate Trismo, we are going to be kind of blocking his way a little bit. So as of right now, we are in the lead. I know I kind of said I didn't really want to be in the lead, but in the early stages of the restart, I just kind of wanted to manage things just a little bit. And yeah, I mean, just kind of want to make sure that I'm kind of getting out of the way, or I don't want to be in major contact, as it looks like Millie and Trismo are going to get a humongous run, and they're actually going to pull out. Great teamwork right there by the pair, and they're going to go flying past me, but I'm going to get a humongous push from Hood Cap. And there's some major contact right there with Millie and Trismo, so not the cleanest turn 1, but it looks like everyone was able to make it through pretty much unscathed, so nothing really major to know on that incident. But as I was saying, I was just wanting to kind of manage things on the restart in first position, but if there was a move to take the lead, I wasn't really going to fight it, because I know there was a lot more race to come, and I was also trying to save as much fuel as possible. I didn't really want to worry about fuel management in the later stages of the race. But as we come on to lap 22, looks like Millie and Turismo are going to be out in the lead, kind of a lead pack, but we are sticking within the slipstream, as well as Rum is going to be behind us, kind of giving us a little push here and there as we possibly look for a move on Turismo. Looks like there's a little contact right there with his teammate. Can't really tell if it was lag or what, but decided to stick up in, or what am I trying to say? Get back into the slipstream of Turismo as we get another big push. And we're just going to, like I said, stick with Turismo and Millie, not really looking for a move on the lead as of right now, but it looks like a little contact right there with Rum, kind of pushing me into the wall, but we were able to hold on to it as we almost went spinning into the infield, but luckily we were able to, like I said, hold on to it. But we are going to lose a few positions. As you see, Keen Saturn goes flying past us, so I'm going to tuck back up into a slipstream, get a little push from Gypsy behind, and actually follow Saturn through and make a move on Hoodcat, heading into turn 1, not really wanting to do anything major on this at this moment. And it looks like Keen Saturn actually gets a pretty decent run out of that corner as we tuck back up into the slipstream of Hoodcat. Kind of have to be aggressive right here with the like switching lanes and so on and so forth. Don't want to, get caught out of the slipstream and lose a bunch of time as well as positions. But yeah, heading into the final corner, making a little bit of a look on Hoodcat here, and we were actually able to kind of make the position or the move work, but unfortunately with the slipstream, he's going to get that position back, so we're going to tuck back into the slipstream. And this is all practice leading to the major moves that I'm wanting to make in the later stages of this race. So trying to figure out where the best part or best part of the track is to pass and where we shouldn't pass and so on and so forth. But as of right now, it looks like our teammate Schwartz was able to kind of catch back up, and it looks like I was trying to defend from Rum, but it looks like I kind of got caught out just a little bit, so we're actually tucked up behind Schwartz. So hopefully we can keep working together to get back up into the top 5, maybe even into the pole position first or second. Kind of making a little move here on Schwartz. It looks like he made a little contact with the wall, and unfortunately I'm not able to stick up behind him, and that's going to lose a bunch of time. As you see, we are out of the slipstream, so losing a bunch of positions on one move, and we are all the way down into last place heading into turn 1 on lap 25. So hopefully we are able to just stick within the slipstream and, work with the people at the back of the pack to get closer to the front. And at this point, I was kind of really worried about losing the slipstream from the major or the big group in front, but luckily we were able to just hold on to it ever so slightly, as a little help from Wired as well, pushing us along. Heading into the final corner, it looks like we're taking a different line, and it looks like Wired's going to try to make a move on us, but it looks like he is not going to be able to hold on to that position as we're up behind us Schwartz, if I can talk, as Gypsy makes a move, and there's some contact right there with Rum, and deciding to pull out of the slipstream from Schwartz, because I knew I was going to lose more time because of the contact and the Constantina effect. But it looks like we are all able to survive it, and it looks like the main person losing out of the slipstream right now is going to be Gypsy, losing a little contact to the group in front. But as of right now, we are still have a fair amount of time left in the race, as we have a humongous run, and we are just going to decide to pull out of Schwartz. And like I said, not really wanting to make moves, but if the opportunity risen, whatever, English is very hard, I would have made the move, and I did. So did get past Schwartz, but we were able to also get past, I believe that was Rum on the main straight. A little contact right here, and actually Schwartz is going to get back past me, but some major contact, as it looks like a bunch of people are struggling with tire wear and riding the wall just a little bit. Also can't really tell if that is lag or anything like that, but unfortunately it looks like our teammate Schwartz is going to fall back, and we are actually going to lose contact with him. But as of right now, we are up into P5, still about 14 laps left in this race, so hopefully we can keep this momentum up and look for maybe some moves on these top guys here, maybe looking for a position or two. I was trying to make a move right there on Hoodcat, but it looks like Boogity Boogity was on our inside. So unfortunately, we weren't able to get past him. But it looks like our teammate Schwartz is relatively behind us as we come steaming into the turn one, a little contact with Rum. And this is where it's all going to start getting frosty. Everyone fighting for a position and some major contact right there with King Saturn and Hoodcat. But it looks like we are able to all make it through turn one and hold on to our positions and lines and carry on with no caution or anything like that. But as you can see, Millie is leading from Turismo as well as King Saturn as we make a move on Boogity Boogity looking on the inside. That is definitely one place on this track where you could possibly make a move if you get a good enough run on the inside. But as you see, the outside of the pack is actually going to get a humongous run, so we're going to be losing a bunch of positions. So we are going to try to tuck in to Hoodcat and make a little contact with him into turn one, kind of set him off just a little bit. And as we come out of turn one, it looks like Schwartz gets an almighty run and was able to carry the speed and possibly look for a move or a few moves, and was able to tuck up into the slipstream. So he is up into P5 as we are up into P7. So hopefully we are able to keep up with our teammate in this stage of the race, as it looks like the top six is going to get kind of a little bit of a way, but with some major contacts and a little Constantine effect, we are able to catch right back up as well as within the slipstream. Looks like Schwartz is going to lose the position to Boogity Boogity, kind of got a little contact into the wall. So as of right now for D-Boy Racing, we are up into P6 and P7. As there's some major contact, a little bumping and grinding up into turn one, making some contact with our teammate, not really wanting to do that. And as we head out of turn one, it looks like our teammate Schwartz gets an almighty run, and he's actually up into P3 ever for just a split second, and we're going to dive down onto the inside and give him a good old push. That way he is able to continue on, and we can work together, and he wouldn't lose a whole lot of time out of the slipstream. But coming into the final corner, it looks like it's all going to get a little bit out of shape as it's 3 wide and Rum goes wide, running King Saturn into the wall. Schwartz gets a pretty good run and he's up into P2 trying to get into the slipstream, and he makes a little contact with Turismo, and unfortunately that is going to be a caution. It looks like there was just not enough room. There wasn't enough room for Schwartz to get back up in between Millie and Turismo. But on to lap 31, it looks like everyone is going to be coming into the pits for new tires as well as some gas. And as you see right here, I am going to be fueling up a decent amount, and probably a little too much, but I was worried I was going to run out of fuel in the later stages of the race. As I come out, I'm actually dead last, so I was at this point really worried if I made the wrong strategy call on fueling up too much. But as of right now, we have about eight laps left in this race, so hopefully we're able to make some moves and look for a possible win. Anything is possible, especially on this track. As you see, there's positions being changed left, right, and center as we get a pretty decent run on the inside, gaining 2 positions already on Wired and our teammate Schwartz. Maybe looking for some more positions to be gained. Gonna try and maybe look to get into Schwartz's slipstream, but actually we are going to get a push from Wired and kind of be on the outside, kind of giving Millie a little bit of a squeeze, but not really doing anything good with him having the major slipstream. Unfortunately, our teammate Schwartz is all the way in last now, as we make some major contact with Millie, getting a little snap, or a lot of oversteer, I should say. And also one thing to note, during that pit stop phase, JSMR Turismo actually lagged out of the lobby, so he's not in this race as of right now. So hopefully that will better our chances of looking for a possible podium, maybe even a win, as we look for a move on Boogity Boogity on the inside, but nothing doing right there, and it looks like it's all getting little feisty right now as we get closer to the end stages of this race. Yeah, pretty decent position right now as we are setting purple sectors with fresh tires as well as plenty of fuel. So as of right now, just trying to keep it nice, calm, cool, and collective, not really wanting to look for overtaking opportunities just trying to, as their major contact right there with Boogity Boogity and Keen Saturn, so that's going to drop Keen Saturn all the way down. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to stick into the slipstream of Boogity Boogity before Wired was there, so going to lose one position, but also gain one, so net gain is 0. But as of right now, like I said, just trying to keep it nice and easy. Don't want to really force anything, cause a caution or anything like that, because the caution cutoff is lap 35. As we get a pretty decent run on the inside, and Wired is actually going to have to stick in behind us, as our teammate Schwartz is right behind Wired as well. But it looks like Hoodcat is in the lead next to Rum, Gypsy, and then Boogity Boogity. And as of right now, just trying to keep up with the guys in front, but yet not make any glaring mistakes or lose too much time. Kind of pick our moments for the major moves that we want to get up into at least the podium position. The podium is definitely on, maybe even the race win. As we head into turn 1, get a nice run right here on the inside and making a little contact with Boogity Boogity. Pretty close heading out of the corner, and not really getting the position done like we wanted to, as our I was going to say our teammate, but actually it is Wired. It makes a move on the outside, but he's going to actually pull out of the slipstream and gain or lose time as we gain more time through our slipstream. If I can breathe, as we get a big bump right there from behind from Wired. It looks like Hoodcat is also into the wall, so getting a little frosty up in the front as of right now. But as we head on to lap 37 out of 40, you can definitely tell in the background that the conversations and the remarks have kind of gone down as we make almost a double overtake into turn 1 on Hoodcat and Boogity Boogity. It looks like that move is actually going to possibly stick, but unfortunately there's going to be a big push on the outside, so that is not going to help us. But as we get into these closing stages of this race, you could tell that the gloves are starting to come off. It's no more Mr. Nice Guy. It is fight for your life and fight for the position that you have, as there's major contact in front of us. As Boogity Boogity is going to lose a little bit of time, so we're just going to dive up on the inside and put the power down as soon as possible and actually get that move done and tuck back up into the slipstream, as there's major contact from behind as well with Keen Saturn and Boogity Boogity. But with the caution cut off at lap 35, unfortunately it is not going to be a caution, so it's going to be a straight fight from here on out. Up on the inside of Hoodcat and on the outside of Gypsy, 3 wide and out of the exit of turn 1, but hopefully we're able to tuck back into the slipstream as Millie gets a humongous run on the outside, but with him not being in the slipstream anymore, he's going to be losing that time that he just gained. So as of right now, we are up into P3, and it looks like Hoodcat and Rum are getting a little feisty and starting to definitely get their elbows out and fighting for this win. Hopefully we were able to just keep this position and get a podium. That's definitely my goal, what my goal was for this race. But as we come on to lap 39, not really going to look for a move as of right now, just trying to minimize the time loss. Time loss from us and time gained on the cars in front, as we get so close up with Hoodcat.
Sorry.
Gave him just enough room on the outside without running him into the wall. Some clean racing on our behalf as well as Hoodcat, and man, that was so close. We could have easily ended in a wreck or a caution or anything like that and taking us both out. But as we come out onto the final lap of the race, looking for a possible move on Hoodcat, getting very close to him on the outside as well. Gonna try and tuck up behind Rum, but unfortunately it looks like it's not gonna work, as there's some major contact behind, as Hoodcat gets a humongous push as he looks for a move heading into turn 1. And as we head into turn 1 ourselves, we are gonna get Hoodcat on our outside as well as Gypsy on our inside. It looks like Rum is gonna start to run away with this, but kind of getting our elbows out and kind of pushing Millie behind us out of the slipstream, and that is going to help us to stay within P3, as we are getting a run on Rum Runner, looking for the inside on the final lap into turn 3. A little contact right there with Rum and Hoodcat, and making a look on the inside of run runner, but unfortunately it is not going to last. That is us going to be coming home in P2, ever so close to a win on the race, but I will definitely take a solid podium as well as a solid P2. But looking at the driver standings of week 7, we are still within striking distance of Hoodcat, but with our consistent form here recently, we are slowly but surely closing that gap to Hoodcat as well as Turismo. So hopefully we can keep those momentum up through the rest of the season and possibly look for that first position, maybe even, definitely am shooting for a P3 in the championship. But on that note, guys, I really hope you guys did enjoy watching, and I will see you all in the next episode. Video, same thing.